How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to talk to you today about something that's been happening a lot in the stock market niche. A lot of people have been talking about penny stock promotion, pump and dump schemes, all kinds of stuff recently. And I feel like I'm someone that should talk about it because I know a lot of people have been asking my opinion. I've had family members noticing that people have been writing stuff in the comments on my channel, on other channels. I've seen big YouTubers, I'm talking about nearly 1 million subscribers, talking about it on different social media platforms, talk about how like crazy it is that everyone is trying to, promote penny stocks or talk about stocks that are going to 5x or 10x or 2x or something like that. And I'm going to try to be as real with you guys as I can be because I just want to be honest with you. I'm not going to try to cut or anything like that. I'm just going to tell you, like, if you were right here in front of me, my thoughts on some of this stuff. So, first of all, we might as well do it. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I appreciate that. Please hit subscribe if you haven't done that already. We talk about penny stocks. We talk about growth stocks, dividend stocks. We talk about other means of finance. We talk about portfolios. We talk about allocation. We talk about all that. So, with that being said, please hit subscribe. Please hit the like button. I appreciate that. Also, if you guys don't mind hitting the button down there to WeBull, if you want some free money, you can get up to $3,700. Just deposit $100. I really appreciate that. It does help out the channel. This is what I do full time. So please do that. Also, if you do want to check out the Patreon, if you want to know what I'm buying and selling, we'll go over some of the penny stocks I hold right now and we'll talk about them. But if you want to join that, there are 4,400 other people in there now, maybe 4,500 by the time you see this. I would really appreciate that. It helps out the channel too. And you get to see exactly what I'm buying and selling, and you get to talk with other people in the investing community. So we're talking about penny stocks. We're talking about stock promotion, pump and dump schemes, all that kind of stuff. First of all, I try not to be like I'm not going to name any names on this channel, but Jack Spencer did a response video to a lot of other people. A lot of other people have been talking about penny stocks, and I feel like anyone can do whatever they want for their channel. Like they can say whatever they want. So I'm not going to talk about how like some channel says they're not going to talk about penny stocks and then they talk about penny stocks or anything like that. I don't care. Like it's their thing. It would be like saying they're not allowed to have their own opinion on it. They can do whatever they want. I don't care. It doesn't really change my channel at all. But I try for my own channel not to be like a buy the stock now. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I might say I just bought this stock or Ark just bought the stock, but I'm never going to tell you to buy a stock. And other channels can do whatever they want. It's kind of like a risk reward thing, right? There's a certain amount of flashiness to saying that you should buy it right now. But like legally, I can't tell you to buy a stock. That would be, in my opinion, that would be not smart of me to say that for legal reasons and just because I don't want to be put on the line for whatever you do. I'm trying to bring you the information that I have. I'm trying to tell you how I weight different ideas, different things in my head, what is valuable, what is too risky, stuff like that. That's just the line that I have not crossed, and maybe one day that changes, but I don't see that happening. I might put a rocket ship or something in my thumbnail, but I'm not gonna say that you should definitely go buy a stock. Second of all, I just want to hand something that a lot of people don't like with penny stocks. First of all, they say that you could lose all your money. This is something that I've said, right? I think you have to be ready to lose your money, but think about how likely it is to lose all your money. I mean, maybe if you're betting like on a 1 cent or 2 cent penny stock, and of course, none of this is financial advice or anything, but how likely is it for you to lose all your money? Probably not really likely. I mean, companies typically go BK over a period of time. I mean, unless you're buying some company the last day before it goes BK and goes down to zero. But most likely, if you buy a penny stock that is a terrible buy, you haven't done your research, or you bought at the very top after it had gone up 500% or something, and you buy in, you'll probably just lose part of your money unless you keep on riding it all the way down. So, that's something that I probably said in the past. I just want to correct that. Like, you could lose definitely a big chunk of your money, but how likely is it to say you could lose all your money? I think that's something that people use as like a warning symbol or a warning sign. Like just don't do it because it could happen. Yeah, it could, but hopefully you're a little bit more informed than that. Anytime that you don't like a channel, you have the opportunity to not watch it, right? So if you don't want to watch penny stock stuff, you don't have to watch it. I realize though that other people are talking about like the ability that we have to reach to people, and that we should be better than penny stocks. That being said, most stocks are penny stocks at some point. I mean, some are higher, but I shouldn't say most, a lot of stocks come from penny stock status. If you go look at Tesla or Apple or Amazon, I'm sure some of them were penny stocks back in the day. I know for a fact some of them were. And I don't think you're sleazy for talking about anything. In the end, it's up to the viewers to decide what they want to do. Like, if someone tells you on the internet to go, throw $1,000 down well or something, that's on you to determine whether that's a good investment or not. Like, you have to figure out in your mind, does that make sense? Does the research work out? And the channels that do this poorly, I think, will naturally die off. Like a lot of channels have grown a lot on YouTube over the last year. And that's I think a lot of the reason for that is because there's been a bull market. When we go through a bear market, the people that have no reason to back up their stock picks, I think their channels will either stay the same or they'll go down. It's really easy to make money in the stock market right now. So that's something that I think too. Now, just for me, I've been battling with whether to cover penny stocks because there is more risk to it, right? Like, we see huge swings. Like, just for example, some of the stocks, the 3 penny stocks that I bought over the last month, Titan Medical, I bought this at $238. It's up 15% today. It could just as easily be down 15% today. You can see here, it's gone up a lot. We also have Sen stock. This one is up a lot today too. Just as easily could be down 20%. We bought this at $1.50. We also bought BNGO, and this one was at $1.25. Now it's at $12.11. The thing is, you have to remember, this is risky, right? First of all, I'm saying, I think in every video, or at least I'm trying to, that these are small parts of my portfolio. So I'm trying to give the disclaimer, like, don't put all your money in these stocks. And, again, not financial advice, but you have to remember too, if you're good at this and if you're helping people, you're making a difference. I've had so many people reach out to me that said, like, thank you so much and stuff like that. And this isn't braggadocious or anything, but like, if you're able to do this and help people, it makes a big difference in a lot of people's lives. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say that. Now, it could easily go down, but then naturally I think my channel size would not grow as quickly if I was just picking out crappy stocks that were not doing well. And that is rightfully so, right? I shouldn't be rewarded for doing a bad job and keep on growing. That being said, I've heard people talk about pump and dump schemes. So a lot of people think that, as YouTubers, we are trying to take positions in these stocks, talk about the stock, sell it right after. And I'll be honest, when I was early on in YouTube, or even beforehand, before I started in YouTube, there was a certain YouTuber that would make these large purchases. He only shows part of his portfolio. And I had thoughts in my head, maybe he's doing something like this. And I think that's a cynical side in me, and not knowing how much YouTubers make from their content and their brand and stuff like that. Like right now, with these penny stocks, I'm investing. If you're not part of the Patreon, I'm investing, a couple $100, $300, $400, $500. The most I've ever spent in a penny stock, I think, is $800. And right now, my portfolio is pretty small, right? Relatively. I mean, it's around $80,000 in investable assets, but this is still a small portion of my portfolio. I'm not trying to pump up a stock 30% and then sell it. If I put $500 in there, I'm making $150. I make more than that on the video. I make way more than that from the affiliates and through the Patreon and other people that are benefiting, right? So this isn't supposed to be braggadocious again, but like, I don't think many people know how much a YouTuber around my size makes. And maybe I'll do a video on that in the future, but to pump and dump a stock and risk, first of all, just my character or anyone else's character, our future growth prospects, our income, our freedom if we get attacked by the SEC or something like that. I'm not going to jail because I want to make $150 on the penny stock. I'm not going to jail for any reason. So to suggest that we're pumping and dumping, I mean, naturally, there is some of that happens, right? Like, for me, I have a Patreon group that's very large. When I talk about a stock, sometimes it goes up. I'm not trying to do that. I buy it because I like the value that's at then. Then a lot of other people will go and buy it, maybe without even doing research. But generally, if you're pissed off at that, you can probably wait a few hours or a few days. Sometimes it comes back down. But there isn't really a good way to go around that. I mean, I've had people ask me, hey, can you create a bigger tier or a more expensive tier and just tell me first, can I pay you money to take my money and then invest it for you? I'm not going to invest anyone else's money. I think that would not be wise. I think that's illegal for sure. But I'm not going to raise tiers either. If you're part of the Patreon, you're part of the Patreon, at least in terms of buys and sells, right? Now, maybe in the future that will change. I know Denside changed his so that, like, first of all, he only had people in at $1. Then he raised it up to $100 just to try to make that smaller, that group smaller. But I think the people with the biggest money will probably pay for that extra access. So we'll still have the same kind of pumps a lot of the time, I think. But you have to realize there are a lot of stocks in the stock market. You don't have to buy the ones I'm talking about. You don't have to buy the ones that Denside's talking about. There are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of different assets out there that you can buy. And, we cover 5-10 a week. You don't have to buy those exact ones if you don't want to be part of that game, right? So that's just something that happens. Next, I want to talk about promotions, like stock promotions. I have been approached by, 5, 10, 20 different companies about stock promotion, where I talk about a stock and they pay me to talk about it. There are a lot of people that do that already, not all on the stock or on YouTube. There are all different forms of it that happen. It's legal as long as you give the disclaimers, you follow the rules and everything like that. It's very clear when I do it. I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, what of the penny stocks this week did you talk about were paid? Which ones do you actually believe in? I make it very clear. I've only done one stock promotion video ever, and it had a little banner that came up right in the bottom corner. I put it in the description. I brought it up in the video in the first minute maybe and talked about it for 30 seconds to 45 seconds, something like that, about it. So it's very clear. Now, some people think this is like scammy. Some people think that it's horrible. Some people will gladly say to me that they unliked or disliked and unsubbed because of the video. Now, I get that. I understand it. I know that happens. However, I made it very clear. I asked my audience, how do you feel about this? I told them a general idea for how obvious it would be that it was a stock promotion video. I told them that I'd be getting paid for it. I gave them a rough idea of how much I'd be getting paid. Now, I have put that, I believe, in the description for how much I get paid for it. And the overwhelming majority of people said, definitely do the video. Like, go do it. Do whatever you want. It's your channel. Make some money. Talk about another stock. And you have to realize, again, like I said earlier, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. That's fine. I don't care. I understand some people won't want to watch, and I've weeded out a lot of people. Like, you would not believe the level of scamminess some people approach you on. Like, I've had individuals ask me, hey, I can pay you money. Will you pump up this stock for me? No, I'm never going to do that. Like, I'm never going to do that for someone. If there is a business and I feel like the company is actually like got something behind it, if it's got something that I think is an X factor, if it could be a good investment or something like that, I will possibly look at, talking about it. That being said, I've turned down a lot of them because they didn't fit. I've done work before and, stopped doing it because I didn't like where it was going. I have talked with a lot of companies. I've looked at a lot of stocks that I've not talked about. So that's just something that I think we should hit on. I don't think you should judge anyone's life or their own personality or thoughts or judge them based on whether they will talk about a stock for money. I mean, if someone came up to you and said, hey, would you take money to write a post on your Facebook profile about something that you think is actually beneficial? We'll pay you for it. You can say whatever you want on it too. So if you have 300 friends on Facebook, they said, hey, we'll pay you $150 to write 3 sentences about this coffee mug. And then people can make their own decision whether they want to buy it or not. I think most people would do that. I think most people would not have a problem with that. They just see someone else doing it and they're like, I don't know how I feel about that. And maybe they haven't looked into it deep enough. Now, if you have strong feelings about that, you're entitled to your opinions. You can think whatever you like. I'm not trying to change anyone's opinions. I'm just trying to tell you mine. So that's kind of where I sit on the whole penny stock market and everything like that. I'm not going out and trying to find penny stocks like all the time. I'm not like, okay, what 5 penny stocks can I hit on this week so that I can bring more people into the Patreon and make tons of money and pump up the stock and everything like that. I have to be compelled almost to make a penny stock video. Like I get hundreds of people that reach out to me every day to look at different stocks. Most of the time I ask them what it is, why they like it. And most of the time I don't make videos on it. I mean, again, at this scale, I just can't. I can only talk about the ones I feel strongly about, and the track record is good so far. That could change, but that's why it's a small portion of my portfolio. It's enough to make a difference when it does really well, because BNGO, we're up 900 or 800%, but it's not a big enough portion that if I lose 50% of it, that it will throw me off long term at all. So that's kind of my thoughts on the whole thing. Again, any YouTuber is entitled to their opinion. Anyone watching this is entitled to their opinion. I just felt like I should give my thoughts on it because I know I have a pretty big audience relatively in the finance space. And I don't know. I think this might help some people, maybe get them in a different mindset or make them think about something differently. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to check out those links down below, I really appreciate that. Thank you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.